Welcome to another episode of Measured. We're happy to have you listening here and joining us again today. Today, we'll be taking a look at Google AI mode. What is Google AI mode? What's the difference between Google AI mode and Google AI overview? So we'll kind of take a look at the two of that. And why we're starting with that is because then we're going to lead into how do you earn visibility in Google AI mode. So I wanted to first just show you what Google AI mode was before we talk about how you earn the ability to be visible in it. We'll take a look at user experience and page speed. Page speed's like that first factor of a user experience, because if that site's loading slow, most of the time they're not going to get to the rest of your content that you're trying to deliver to them. How do you measure site speed? So we have one example we'll show that's free that you can go, or anyone can go to that's listening, and test out their site and just kind of see what scores it gets back. We'll have our customer question and then our end on our featured project, which is just one of my favorite ways to end each and every show. So the first thing is what is Google AI mode? Google introduced AI mode in March of 2025. So we're coming up here on almost a year that they've had it. It runs very similar to any of the other platforms. If you have been using AI like ChatGPT, Claude, you always start with the question, and then it pulls its sources to give you back its best answers. It's just not a full page of links that you can go on and on and on. It cites through how many ever sources that it looks at. It tells you all that information, and then it allows you to, again, leave or follow up with a question to the answers that it gave back. So it's very conversational format versus just as traditional search. So I'm going to go pull up Google here. So if you're just listening, you're not going to see it. But we're just on google.com. And in the center of the screen, there is a little search bar that you would initially type your information or your question into. But to the right, within that gray search area, it says AI mode. If you just click on that, it's going to load you to another screen. It says, what's on your mind? Ask anything. And then it gives you a couple little questions. Help me map out training for my first marathon, plan a weekend trip. It's just giving you some guesses on things that you could ask. So we'll think of something that's relevant for what we do. So best CRM to build, can't type, a business website. We will see what Google thinks for that question. All right, gonna hide. We use a tablet to run our episodes, so everything's gonna be a little bit more condensed on the screen than normal. So top recommendations for business website builders. Number 1, Wix. 2, Squarespace. 3, Shopify, best for e-commerce. Then there's Hostinger, Square, WordPress, best for scalability. So that is what it came back with in Google AI mode. To the right, you can see that it crawled it's citing 7 different websites for that information. You can ask follow-up questions. So, like I said, if you're used to using ChatGPT or any of the other ones, it is very much kind of that same idea for format. And if we go back to Google and we ask the same question, but not in AI mode, best CRM to build a business website. So now we're back in just traditional Google. And you, again, if you're just listening, you're not going to see it, but it is your traditional Google search page. But if we scroll down a little bit, you'll see a little spot in the middle that we have on the screen that's called AI overview. So it is going to give you what they are saying as the best option in AI overview. This again is in Google. And the top recommendation is actually HubSpot. And in AI mode, HubSpot wasn't even an option. So we asked the same question and got different answers. Welcome to AI. Same platform. It is Google itself. So that's the really kind of interesting thing. But I just wanted to show you, to go into AI mode, you have to click that button that says AI mode. If you are just typing in a regular search in Google, it will give you back your traditional search results. Some will be sponsored, some will be just based on their SEO, their ranking. And then this AI overview, again, the end user doesn't have control on what that comes back as. And if we go and click more, it just gives you more data about each of them. Reddit, videos, all the different things. So I just wanted to initially show you that if you wanted Google AI mode, you have to click into that. Or if you're just looking at an AI overview, that is an option too, that is built within the search results that you don't have to click anything extra into, but Google is going to automatically give you that result back. And so that next step of kind of why we wanted to start with that was like, how do you earn visibility in Google AI mode? So Google AI mode, to me, I mean, I feel this way about almost all SEO. You have to have a great base rank for Google to put you into results, but that is the same thing when it comes with Google AI mode. So to show up, be indexed and trusted in search, answer real questions clearly. Writing in conversational format is a huge component of that. Simple FAQs on each of your main service pages, simple way to do that. If you think like what we just did, we asked a question, best CRM to build a website into Google. Then those sites were answering that question. So your sites, your content needs to be answering questions. Will you know every question that someone's trying to ask? Absolutely not. But if you are thinking about different customer questions that you get asked often, those are great things to list out. Put those on your site. Put them on those relevant service pages or product pages. Make those questions very relevant to that product or service. Those are perfect ways that you can be adjusting your content now to help you earn that visibility. And it is earned. Earned is the best way to say what SEO is, or AI SEO, or search everywhere SEO. It is all earned. It is you doing the hard work. It is you showing up consistently. One easy way, conversational format or conversational content, not format. Sorry about that. Show real experience or expertise and experience. I think a big thing for that is showing trust and having trust with testimonials. Now, anyone can put a testimonial on their website. So I'm not saying go make up 10 fake testimonials that ChatGPT threw out to you because they sounded great and listed off all your main services. A big thing that when we're working with customers with their SEO in general is building out testimonials or building out reviews inside Google for the Google place. And you can pull those, like if you're using WordPress and even Shopify, they all have different plugins that you can pull those results onto your website. And I highly recommend doing that. Earn the actual people how to log in, leave a result or leave that review. Google validates that review and you show that out on your website. That is an easy way to earn trust in the people that are visiting your website. You can't make those up. You can't force them. Yes, there's probably different places on the web that you can buy them, but Google can see right through all that. What the worst thing your customer is going to do is not leave a review. Obviously, ask them for that. If we gave you a 5-star experience, please leave us a 5-star review. If you got anything but, let us know. We'd like to make it right. An easy way to ask for a review shows trust, builds that authority, and that's going to build authority just in Google all the way in general, but it's an easy way to pull all that hard work that you've been doing onto your website. And that, to me, is just an easy way to win. You're going to be winning in multiple different areas of that. So why not ask? Ask everyone as your customer that has had a great experience with you. I understand business. I understand not everyone is going to be extremely happy with you. You're going to know the ones that you leave aside. And that's okay. Not everyone knows who you didn't ask or who you are asking. Just ask that question, get that review, share it as many times as you can. It's just an easy way for you to show real expertise and experience is through reviews. And then another is deliver a fast, usable experience once people land. And that's going to lead us right into our next part of our topic. But before we kind of jump into that, so AI doesn't change who wins. It just shows the winners in a different format. So the people that AI is giving as results are the people that were already doing SEO extremely well. So you have to remember that you need to have that strong base. You need to be doing all the right things. Yes, we will have another episode that kind of talks into about schema data, because schema data can be a large option on things that most people aren't paying attention to when it comes into AI. So we'll dive into what is schema data, how it needs to be factored out. When you're doing your FAQs, there's a special way to mark that it's a question, a question and answer into that. And it just all kind of falls back to doing that consistency, always showing up, the conversational format, having that fast website, and then just ready being that trusted site before you're even worried about if you are going to show up in AI mode or any of the ChatGPT. Obviously, Gemini is Google's AI. And we kind of track out whether you show up in AI mode or AI overview. So we're looking at like how many times you were cited or how many pages you have cited and how many times you were referenced. And we will separate those out. And that's kind of why I wanted to show you the difference of the two, so you would have a better understanding of knowing that if someone was truly in AI mode, asking that question, or if they're just asking that question in a regular search result and you're being shown out in AI overview. So big thing is just keep wanting to win, keep doing the hard work, keep consistently showing up with your content, and all good things will come. So as the last thing that we kind of said on that AI mode was that your page loads fast. So the next thing that we're going to jump into is user experience and page speed. Page speed is that like number one factor, or that first factor. I shouldn't say it's number one. That first factor when it comes into user experience. So user experience, there's multiple different things that happen with the user experience, and we're talking about user experience on a website. So when someone comes to your site, then what? So first thing is, if you have a really slow site, they may not even see the rest of that page. So we'll just talk about a homepage in general as we're kind of diving through this. So if someone's landing on your main homepage of your website and it was really slow, they may not even get to any other page, and they may not even see the whole homepage, because page speed, again, is that first factor, that first identifier if someone is finding what they are wanting or not. So along with that page speed, you land in to that design. So how does it make you feel? What does it look like? Are you hitting all those elements that someone's expecting? Do you have crazy things happening? You might have videos playing. Do you have sound? Sound can be a huge problem when it comes to user experience, but it's all these different factors on whether you have these items that are going on or not. What do you do? Who's it for? What's next? So as they're diving through those kind of three questions, you usually have about, on a mobile, they say 53% of users make up their mind in 3 seconds of a page load. On desktop, they say you usually get closer to 10. So from 3 to 10 seconds, page speed, what is happening, and are they going to stay? So fast and stable pages keep users engaged, reduce friction, support rankings that relevance are there. Slow page speed People leave before content matters, trust drops immediately, and the opportunity is instantly gone. And the reason that we talk about page speed is because of how Google takes that in as a kind of an overall ranking factor. Google is all about user experience, and Google is all about delivering out that best option as fast as they can. So if you have a very slow site that people are constantly coming to and instantly leaving, that is going to hurt your overall ranking factor. Bad content on a fast site still isn't going to rank. Good content on a slow site, ranking will be affected because of how slow that site loaded. It comes twofold when we are talking, because we're also that design firm that wants you to have that beautiful website. But there are just times that it is not worth having that monster video playing in the background, or these huge photos rotating through, or all these different photo backgrounds, when we can't optimize them completely down to load as fast as it needs to. So when we look at people's data, let's say mobile brings in like 70% of all your users, but mobile has the worst performance between desktop and mobile, I always recommend us making adjustments. Challenge your marketing agency, challenge your design agency, or challenge yourself that there's probably creative ways that you can still make your site feel authentic to you and not having all of that media initially trying to load when that site is coming through. So places that like we go to measure site speed, I'm going to pull one up here on the screen. It is called PageSpeed Insights. And it's very simple. It's pagespeed.web.dev. Don't type anything else after the .dev. That's the end. So pagespeed.web.dev. Again, it's called PageSpeed Insights. I'm going to type in a customer's site here. I can't spell it right. It's just Repower Motorsports.com. I think I did that right. They were out of Sanborn, Iowa. And this is just a free site that you can use for yourself, that you can go to, see how your site grades all the way through. There's so much information on this page, but it will help you. It'll point out where your fault lines are, so where you can improve throughout. It takes a few minutes to load. At the very top, underneath that bar that we typed in the URL, there's a thing for mobile, a tab for mobile, and a tab for desktop. So you can go through either one, which one you want to. So for them, they are doing extremely well. So for mobile, their overall performance is a 91. They have a 93 for accessibility. Best practices, they're a 92. SEO, they're 100. So it's all green. Green is good. If you're just listening, that's not going to help you. But just take a look at the site, pagespeed.web.dev, and it will give you insight through all. So I'm going to click on desktop now. It's going to regenerate out. Their overall performance jumped from a 92 on mobile to a 94 on desktop. And so we just love seeing statistics like this. Again, I'm not going to dive all the way through this site, but if you scroll down under each of them, so right now we're at performance, there's different components that will show you how you can improve. So one of the insights on this site is that they could improve their image delivery. And what it just means by that is that it recommends saving the images down in a smaller format so that they would load faster out. But as you click through, you can learn a little bit more. If you don't understand it, don't want to understand it, that is perfectly fine. It's just something that you could also use to ask your marketing or web agency for some insight on for that. I mean, it's just kind of unique. It's fun to know more about your website. Know that page speed plays such a huge role in the overall user experience. So just keeping someone on your site, but that all flows back through for rankings. Just know Google knows for people that have click and have regret, or click and are satisfied, and just it's all based on their actions that they do. And for the people that are coming and are happy and they're getting those answers, they come, they know exactly what you do, what it's for, and what they're supposed to do next, and they can get that information within 10 seconds, you are winning. And that is how your site is going to keep showing up for those keywords that you want to be found under. And Google starts to see you as that true authority figure as you are trying to rank through, obviously, keywords. There's always so many you're trying to rank through for, but just building out that authority and having that fast load time can be such a difference for your content that you're already working on. I talk to our customers all the time about, we do all this work on all this content, but if your site is just going to load slow through, then like I had just said, even though you have a fast site and bad content, that it's not going to load through, you're not going to win. But a slow site with good content is still going to struggle. So you have to have all of those different angles, all those different figures that you have to pay attention to make sure that not only is the content you're putting on going to matter, but that your site is built and ready to perform when all that content is there. We are going to jump in to our question of the day. Should we be posting on every social platform? Now, we get asked this often, and short answer, I think you should try them. But why? My true answer for this is usually kind of figuring out user behavior, figuring out what have you done or what are you currently doing? How often are you posting? Are you even posting anything in general? I usually encourage customers to choose 2 platforms. Give like 4 weeks of time, post similar messaging out on both consistently. So don't favor one over the other, and see who wins, what wins. You'll learn what people respond to. Are they sharing? Are they liking? Are they interacting? Are they commenting? Obviously, you need to be doing the same back. If someone comments, leave it, comment back. How those interactions are all falling will help you learn what social platforms are right for your business. Everyone's a little bit different. There's not one company that has that exact same success. We were just dealing with a customer that hadn't posted on YouTube in like 2 years. They just thought it was dead, done for them. And they have started doing shorts and reels and brought their YouTube page back to life. And they're getting that is the platform right now they're getting the most interactions with. So it's not that is always a dead platform for you, but you have to test to find out which ones are right for you and know that those are going to change. But once you start winning on one of those platforms, you got to stay with it. Don't give up on it, but don't think that is the only one that's ever going to be right for you, especially as times change, new platforms come along. Everything is a little bit different. So watch for views, reach, interactions, and then your conversations. Are you getting any DMs or questions or real leads? Can also be a big factor for that as well. So having those conversations, trying that data. Like I said, if you're just starting, I always tell you to choose 2. You can, obviously, a lot of people talk about the different demographics of this age generation's here and this age generation is here and all these things. But it's also a lot about behavior. Like, how do people search? How do the people learn? Where do they go to get a question and an answer? And then how do you become relevant in that area? So I'm not saying that every platform is right for you, because a lot of times it isn't. And a lot of times customers could post something on every single one, but you may get nothing on any of them. Or I should say nothing on a couple of them, where you could just keep your time focused in on 1 or 2 and really build those out. always be paying attention to what is coming and what is new, but stay consistent. You will get results. And if those results aren't there, keep jumping to other platforms. And by jumping, I mean starting, figuring out like, hey, we tried Facebook and we tried Instagram. This is what we have. Don't stop posting while you're doing other tests. But have you tried LinkedIn? Have you tried TikTok? Have you tried YouTube? Whether you're doing long form or short form. All the different things that you can try different, figure out what works for you. Don't just assume because this worked for whichever company that it's going to work for you, or it didn't work for them that it's not going to work for you. Until you try, you won't know. Give it a shot, test the data, give it a good 4 weeks, consistently post out, and at the end, take that data and figure out what platform is right for you. And with kind of that component of that platform that's right for you is like, there's always new platforms coming out. So there's a new one right now that's called Upscrolled. We're just going to get signed up for it. And it would be in competition with TikTok. And the big difference between the two of them is that Upscrolled is really supposed to be less monitored. I should say less, trying to think of the right word. It is going to be more based on your interactions with others than what it thinks that you want to see. Algorithm. Couldn't think of that word. And so just like it's coming out, it's been getting a lot of attention. A lot of people have been using that or switching away from TikTok to Upscrolled. And that is a platform that we're going to test. We'll see how that works for us. We'll see how it works on our show. And that is just kind of my point. New things are going to come and you have to be willing to test those out. So we'll keep you updated on how that Upscrolled comes for us. We're excited to test another new platform. I think a lot of the things I read on it are really interesting on how that it really will be more for the user than anyone. The target is not ads. The target isn't anything in general. It's really just supposed to be on what you like and don't like. And it's really supposed to be like, it's not going to keep feeding you more and more and more to keep that scrolling going forever. It's really only supposed to show you about your interests or things that you've interacted that fall into those same guidelines. So we'll keep you updated on Upscrolled as that kind of comes to fruition for us. The last part of our segment of our show is going to be our featured project. On the screen, you will see Albert City Thresherman and Collector Show. It happens once a year. It's a 4-day show. It's in Albert City, Iowa, and it really just kind of takes you back to how things were done years and years and years ago when it comes to farming. If you're into antique tractors, such a great show. If you're into just seeing how things used to be done on the farmland, there's live interaction, or live, I don't know if it's right to call it performances, but they go out and do the work in the field and you can see it all happen. And it's such an experience. It's a very awesome show that you can attend. Couple of things that I really like about this website. One, I'll say first and foremost, we got to do the brand for this. And we don't ever talk about branding often, but we do offer branding as a service, as we are designers. And we got to develop their new logo that they launched. What I love about branding is when they take your design and just really live it. Like, it is everywhere with them now. It's really become such a large component for them. And it's just fun to see it used in so many different ways. So first and foremost, we're loving the new logo, but that's because we did it. And then you'll see the site. It was on an old CRM. We moved it to WordPress, and then we developed, it also has a little store, it has WooCommerce tied to it. You can register to be an exhibitor right from here. When it gets a little closer on the site, you can see the show schedule for Thursday through Sunday. So each day you can see what's happening on the grounds, where you might want to choose which day you want to go based on that. But it's just a fun little site that we had done. Again, albertcitythresherman.com. Take a look, check it out. Such a fun website. That is all we had for you today. If you have any questions, as always, please leave us a comment, whether you're checking us out on our long form of this whole podcast video, or if you're just seeing different shorts along the way. Leave a comment, ask a question, like, follow, and subscribe as we keep growing out this series of Measured. We appreciate you listening, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.